Yep.
You can start, John.
It's streaming on Facebook now, John.
Okay. Everyone else mute apart from me and Yazname. Yazname, are you ready to tell your first story? Yazname?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, then I will announce the show. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and assembled company, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe in and Folk East simultaneously, and it is our International Young Tellers. And at the moment, there is only one International Young Teller joining us. Hopefully there will be more, but we have the amazing, the fantastic, the wonderful Yazname sitting in Punjab. Big round of applause for Yazname. Story.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasnami and I am from India, Punjab. आओ सुनाओ तुम्हें एक कहानी, आओ सुनाओ तुम्हें एक कहानी. Come, let's listen to a story. Come, let's listen to a story. So the name of my story is Raja and the Bird. Once in a forest, there lived two birds. They both were very pretty and they both sang melodiously. And they both were every time with each other. They always went from tree to tree flying in the sky. One day, the king, Raja, came into the forest in his caravan. He heard these birds singing. And he ordered his soldiers that he wanted one of these birds because it sang melodiously and he wanted someone to sing in his palace. And now the soldiers ran to catch one of these birds. One escaped while the other one was in trouble. It was caught and then taken to the palace. And then there Raja used to hear the bird song while the other bird used to cry. It did not eat anything, did not sing, or did not even drink because it missed his friend very much. And so one day this bird decided he will go to the Raja and then ask him to set his friend free from his cage. And so this bird did. It went on the way to the palace and sang dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum. And then few ants were walking by. They stopped the bird and said, "Where are you going, dear bird?" And the bird said, "I am going to the palace. I am going to set my friend free from the cage." And so the ant said, "What if we accompany you?" And so the ants climbed on the bird's wing and they all went. Dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum. And they went. And next what they saw was a river flowing. And the river asked the bird, "Where are you heading, dear?" And the bird said, I am going to ask the king to set my best friend free from its cage. And the river said, "What if I accompany you?" And the bird said, "Why not?" So on the other wing there was a river, and they all went dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, and they reached the palace. The bird went to the king and said, "Dear Raja, you have caged my best friend. I want him to set free. He can't be caged like this." And the Raja said, "Only at one cost. You will have to survive in the dungeon for a day. If you survive, I'll set the other bird free." And now the bird went into the dungeon because it was used to living in dark. But when it entered the dungeon, it saw an elephant. The elephant was mad. He did not like anyone entering the dungeon and wanted to kill this bird. But then the ant said, "We are here to help you." All the ants went down and they all climbed on the elephant's trunk and then bit the elephant. The elephant screamed, "Eek!" And then what happened was the elephant fell. And this bird was now waiting for the next morning. It was morning, and then the bird went to the Raja again and said, "See, I'm alive. Now you'll have to set my friend free." And then the king said to his soldiers, "Just catch this bird also. At day, I listen to the first bird, while at night I listen to it." And so the soldiers got this bird also. And both were caged. Now this bird was very worried because it wanted to set everyone free. And at night the river said, "Don't worry, I'm here to help you. I'll make a river in this room and the Raja will not be able to breathe. And Raja doesn't know swimming." So what happened was that night the water went off its wing and the water rised in the room. Slowly, slowly, Raja felt the water and he screamed, "Is someone there? Help me out." But the door was locked with the water's pressure. And then the bird said, "You can be saved only at one cost. You'll have to set us free." And the Raja said, "Okay, I will do. First save me." And the bird said, "No, first you'll have to free us." And so the soldiers came running. They both opened the cage and the birds were set free. And the water stopped. And Raja also felt what feeling these birds got while they were caged. And from then onwards, Raja never caged a single animal. Thank you.
Unmutes me. Ah, that was fantastic, Yasname. I think we're still waiting for Nigeria to join us. Ali, could you make Babasi co-host? So if Nigeria joins us and you're away, I have people in Morocco trying to do 200 things simultaneously. It's a bit like running a folk festival in East Anglia. And so if Babasi can be made co-host, that would be fantastic. Meanwhile, Yasname, if there's no one else about, have you got another story for us?
Yes, I've got one.
You might have to have 1,000 stories for us. We'll just see how you get, how we get on. But Yasname, I did warn you this morning, you might have to hold the fort and do a solo act, be the amazing Yasname from Punjab. So once more, round of applause for Yasname from Punjab. She's coming on with her second story. And with each story, our audience increases.
So the name of my second story is The Three Pumpkins. Now, in a small village, in a small hut, there lived two brothers, Nandu and Yana. They both lived very happily because they were only two brothers. They lived in a small hut. Both had their own land. And then one day, they both got married. Yana was married to a poor girl, while Nandu was married to a rich girl. And then Nandu's wife said, "We can't keep you at home. You have to leave our home. This is our home." and Yana and his wife had to leave their home. They both went to Yana's land, which was a small piece of land which was useless. It had nothing on it. And they both were very worried. Where they gonna stay? Then Yana saw a bird in his nest. He stared at the bird as the bird was very happy because the bird had a shelter which was its nest. It had food which were worms and it was quite happy. And Yana thought, I don't have anything, not a shelter, nor food. I'm just so alone. And he wondered how lucky that bird was. It had no dangers on his life. And then suddenly what came was an eagle. It came flying from the sky and then took the bird, injured the bird's wing, and then threw it from its nest. Yana went running to the bird. He took hold of it and then took it to his home that he made on that small land. He applied medicines and he took care of that bird until that bird was fine. And one fine evening, the bird was well. It flew away. The next morning, Yana's wife said, We're not well over here. What are we doing here? We should go, I guess. And then Yana said, I guess we should stay here. We have many things to do. What will we do by going somewhere else? We have nothing. And that time, that sparrow he had saved came flying through the window. It had 3 seeds in his mouth. He kept all the seeds in Yana's hand and went. Yana's wife said, See, you've got a prize. You saved the life of that bird, so it has brought something for us. Let's see what it is. It was pumpkin seeds. They all sowed the pumpkin seeds and then planted it. They watered it, and the next day, what grew were 3 pumpkins. They got 3 pumpkins and they were very happy. They thought that they would eat one and sell 2 of them. So they took one, they took it to their home and cut it. As they cut it, what they saw was it had delicacies. It had different varieties of food. They both were very happy. They ate it. And then they thought, maybe they have something else in the other 2 pumpkins. So they brought both of them home and cut it. The second pumpkin was fine clothes and it had jewelry, while in the third were gold and silver coins. Now they had so much money that they decided to have a castle. They made a castle and lived happily. And now Nanda knew everything, and he thought, how could my brother be so rich? He had nothing with him except that land which was just so useless. So Nanda's wife said, Don't worry, I'll go to his wife and ask everything. So did she. She ran to his wife. Her wife explained her everything. And then she told to Nanda, what if we save a bird and then we'll get a pumpkin and we'll get so much? And now Nanda ordered his servants to bring a sparrow whose leg is broken. They could not find one sparrow whose leg was broken, so they broke it and then brought it to Nanda. Nanda applied balms, applied medicines, and then the sparrow was fine again. And what they waited was for a pumpkin. And now the bird came. It gave them a single seed of pumpkin. Without even thinking, they just planted it because they thought everything would come in one pumpkin. Next morning, when they took the pumpkin inside and cut it, what they saw was just smoke. The smoke came out, and slowly it destroyed their house. They had nothing to live upon. And then they both went to their brother and asked for a shelter and said sorry. Thank you.
Now, is there any young person, even if they've got a mouthful of cake, would like to come up here and actually talk to a young lady in Punjab and tell her what a wonderful storyteller? Young man with your Adidas hat on, do you want to come up? No.
And John, Nigeria is with us now. But could you,
Nigeria's with us now.
yeah, but could you take a moment? Could you take a moment and brag a little bit about Jasna May and how she went on tour in Great Britain, and how she
Well,
was
I
our
could.
and how she was our
I could.
first solo young artist for Stories for Children.
Well, she was, and indeed, Yasname was over in this country earlier this year and performed at Get a Word in Edgeways, and she was really, we do this, the young international tellers every week on Tuesday at this time, and Yasname was one of the first to come on, and so she's been our star. But we have other stars, and right now we'll go to Nigeria. I can't see the screen because I'm sitting in front of this.
It's both of the young princesses. And wait a minute,
Yeah,
did we just, yes, Rahana, they just switched the name. Rahana is on right now. And I guess the other sister will join hopefully in a few moments.
Okay, so Rahana, are you ready to tell your story?
Yes,
You have to
good evening,
unmute.
everyone.
Right, everyone mute. Rahana, a big round of applause for Rahana, and another round of applause for Yasname. And Rahana, first of all, we're sitting in a field in Suffolk, in England, at a folk festival, and and people are waving to everyone. Waving, right. And where are you, Rahana?
Nigeria,
Nigeria. Whereabouts in Nigeria?
Abuja, the capital.
Okay. Have you got a story for us?
Yes.
Thank you. You're not very clear today, but do your best.
Once upon a time, a little mouse and a little sausage who loved each other like sisters decided to live together and made their arrangements in such a way that every day one would go to walk in the fields or make purchases in town while the other remained at home to keep the house. One day, when the little sausage had prepared cabbage for dinner, the little mouse, who had come back from town with a fine appetite, enjoyed it so greatly that she exclaimed, "How delicious the cabbage is today, my dear." "Ah," answered the little sausage, "that is because I popped myself into the pot while I was cooking." On the next day, it was her turn to prepare the meals. The little mouse said to herself, "Now I will do as much for my friend as she did for me. We will have lentils for dinner, and I will jump into the pot while they are boiling." And she let the action follow the word without reflecting that a simple sausage can do some things which are out of the reach of even the wisest mouse. When the sausage came home, she found the house lonely and silent, not a sound could be heard. She called again and again, "My little mouse, my little mouse, my friend, my friend." But no one answered. Then she went to look at the lentils boiling on the stove, and alas, found within the pot her good little friend who had perished at her duty. Poor Mousie, with the best intentions in the world, had stayed too long at her cocoon, and when she desired to climb out of the pot, she had not enough strength to do so. And the poor sausage could never be consoled. That is why today, when you put one in the pan or on the grill, you would hear her weep and sigh. My poor mouse. Ah, my poor mouse. That is why sausages sizzle in pots or on the grills.
And
Absolutely brilliant.
so it's fantastic. So, and has your sister got one for us today, or are you by yourself?
I'm not sure she's telling today. We're actually not at home. We're at Toastmasters.
Yes. That's why we call you the Royal Aura, the Royal Princess's Aura. I messed that up. Are you still with us, John?
Another story.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
I-
a second story.
Yes, I think she wants to tell another story.
Yeah, is it two sisters or just one sister today?
We have one sister today. They are, did you say Toastmasters?
Yes.
They're not, yeah, they're not at home. They are Toastmasters. I guess you're at an affair where you're Toastmasters and telling stories?
The Toastmasters is actually a public speaking organization around the world.
Right, right. So John
Okay.
can't see, he can't see you where he is.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm conveying the messages. But yes, she says that she does have another story, John.
Well, we'll have that. We'll have one more story from Rihanna, and then we'll go back to Punjab and have another story from Jasname, and that make a great program. Please continue. Nigeria.
This story is very short. On a mango tree in a jungle, there lived many birds. They were happy in their small nests. Before the onset of the rainy season, all the animals of the jungle repaired their homes. The birds also made their homes more secure. Many birds brought twigs and leaves, and others wove their nests. We should also store some food for our children, chirped one of the birds, and they collected food until they had enough to see them through the rainy season. They kept themselves busy preparing for the tough times. Soon, the rains came. It was followed by thunder and lightning, and all the animals and birds stayed in their homes. It continued raining for many days. One day, a monkey, wet in the rain, came into the forest. He sat on a branch, shivering with cold, water dripping from its body. The poor monkey tried his best to get shelter, but in vain. The leaves were not enough to save him from the harsh rains. Oh, it's so cold, said the monkey. The birds were watching all this. They felt sorry for the monkey, but there was little they could do for him. One of them said, "Brother, our small nests are not enough to give you shelter." Another bird said, "All of us prepared for the rainy seasons. If you had, we would not be in this pretty situation." "How dare you tell me what to do?" said the monkey, growling at the bird. The monkey angrily pounced on the bird's nest, tortoise I threw to the ground. The bird and the chicks, they are helpless. The poor bird thought, fools never value good advice. It's better not to advise them at all. The end.
Fantastic. Well,
Is-
we're going back from, well, Babasi, you will obviously want to say something amazing to our friend in Nigeria.
I am amazed each time that Rahana tells a story. She not only gets better, you study her facial expressions and you listen to the tone and pace of her voice. And that's why I think I call her Princess Rahana, as all the young ladies on our program are princesses. But I'm always amazed at how she's always a bit better than her last time. The only person you're in competition with, Princess, is yourself. Please continue to tell stories.
And one more
Thank
round of
you.
applause for Rana. And now we will go back for our last, assuming no one's come in from Gaza, because occasionally we get young people from Gaza, but that is, that's a bit, depends on how the internet is in Gaza, and it is not always working. So we'll go back to Punjab and Yazname for the last story. Have you got another story for us, Yazname?
Yes,
Well, can we hear it?
yes.
Thank you.
So the name of my third story is Pot of Barley. There was once a Brahmin, which is known as priest. He used to just do one thing, which was he used to go to every home and asked for shelter and money. But he never did work on his own. He always wanted to get everything, but wanted to do no work. Now these Brahmins had a special day, which was the day of equinox. Well, every merchant gave them food, gave them gifts, and so the Brahmins waited for this day. So did this one. And he was very lazy. He used to just lie anywhere. He used to get food from people. Finally, it was the day of equinox. On the day of equinox, this Brahmin got a pot of barley from a rich merchant. He was very happy and very excited because he had got a pot of barley. He could do so much with that pot of barley. He could sell it, he could eat it, he could get money, and he could do so much more. He just thought but did nothing. He was standing in sun. It was scorching hot. So the Brahmin decided, I guess I'll have to go and stay somewhere, and I'll keep my pot of barley safe. So the Brahmin went. He saw a potter on his way, and the Brahmin asked the potter if he could stay in his hut for a while. And the potter said, yes, why not, dear Brahmin? You can stay in my hut. And now the Brahmin went. He carefully took that pot of barley and placed it at the top. And he lay down. While he was laying down, he took a stick in his hand so that if anybody touches his barley, he can beat him. And slowly, he went in sleep. And so he started to dream. In his dream, he thought that he would sell this pot of barley, earn money. He would get so much of money that he would have a palace. Then he would have 4 wives. And he would love the youngest wife the most. And whenever he sees all the wives fighting, he would take his stick and beat them. And Brahmin, what he did was, he took the stick and then moved it in his dream. And his pot of barley broke as the stick touched the pot. There was a loud thud in the room. The potter came running into the room because he had his pots lying there. And Brahmin woke up. He saw his pot of barley was broken and the potter's pots were also damaged. And so the Brahmin cried, "My pot, I had to get so much money from this, but now it's broken, I can't help it out." And the potter screamed, "Please leave my home. You have destroyed all of my hard work. You have destroyed my pots. Never return back." And so the Brahmin had to go. That's why we say we should never be lazy and do what we think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, John, I don't know if you can tell, but evidently Princess Jasmine has also become a green screen expert because her screen was changing. I think she was controlling the changes. If not, she made it look so seamless and easy. And once again, her way of telling stories constantly improves. I think a Rahana and Jasmine combo would be out of this world.
They're getting better, but I want to actually not have do all the comments from Washington DC because I've got a lot of adults in here and children. Would anyone, adult or child, like to come up here and comment? It's what we do at the end of everyone. We like to encourage our young tellers by having people just tell them how wonderful they are. And you've got a big smile on your face, sir. Come up here, step up to the plate. We've just got some of our live audience.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm live. I'd just like to say you were both so emotive in the way that you spoke. It's very easy to understand your stories and to be there with you and to understand your characters and what they were going through. So yeah, keep it up. It's great work.
Thank you. And normally we could, I mean, just so because Barbara and C and I don't take up all the radio time. We make sure any women on the screen get a chance. Now, would you like to come up and say something just to encourage you? You've got this really shy look. Do you want to come up? I'll just so one more of our audience. I'm just taking random members of the audience. Come in, don't trip over anything, and just fantastic.
Hi there. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Anna. Yeah, thank you so much for your stories. They were amazing. They were so, they were so colourful. I could just imagine, like in the very first story, the birds. It was just such a colourful story. It was really well. I thought you did really well, Jacinda, with your props as well. And it was really lovely. All the stories were fantastic. And my 3 children have been very quiet, so that's testament to how good they were. So thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fantastic. Well, I think we're pretty well on our time limit. So thank you, Baba C, for keeping me under control by actually seeing what's going on, and I haven't the faintest idea. Thank you, Yasname and Rana, for the stories. And thank you at Folk East for being our audience. A big round of applause for everybody. And thank you, Ali and Marrakesh, for driving the magic carpet as usual. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock in here, we've got stories from the actual cafe, World Storytelling Cafe in Marrakesh with Zuhair and Kamal and maybe other people, but certainly those two. And if you want to see more young tellers or hear some more from them, every Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock, or worldstorytellingcafe.com. It's all archived. You can look there. Meanwhile,
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Also give thanks to Waleed for being the assistant driver of the magic carpet today.
It was Wally on tonight.
Both of them,
Both of
Ali
them.
and Waleed.
Okay, Ali and Wally. Wally, thank you very much for assisting and being the co-pilot of our magic carpet. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you up there for driving it, the one in here. Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Until the next time, to be continued. Princesses, keep doing what you do.
Thank you very much.
All right, Waleed, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
And Ali, as always,
Yeah.
thank you. You guys are phenomenal. All right, I think I'm going to go get lunch. It's early on my side. It's not quite 1 p.m. yet. It's 1:45.
Oh yeah, from America?
Yes,
Okay.
in the part of America where I am, because we have 4 different. Actually, the United States has 6 different time zones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm on what we call Eastern Standard Time. So it's almost 1 o'clock, not quite 1 o'clock here. And so I'm gonna go to have a bite to eat. Now, if you go on the West Coast, it's
Yeah.
about 11 o'clock. It's 3 hours different. They're 3 hours earlier. So it depends on where you are in the United States on what the time is. But where I am, it's almost 1 o'clock. And that means that I'm going to have a bit of a late lunch, but I'm going to have it. All right. Take care. See you guys when I see you guys. Oh, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.